Hello, welcome everybody. Welcome everybody to the launch event of our Australia-Vietnam Blueprint for Climate Smart Agriculture. As individuals are rolling in, I'd like to invite you please to mind the interpretation button at the bottom if you can, and make sure that you are listening in the language English or Vietnamese that works best for you. Okay, well, we'll get started. I know we have many individuals here on the call today. So welcome everybody to the launch event for the Australia-Vietnam Blueprint for Climate Smart Agriculture, a strategic reference and guide for bilateral partnerships in the advancement of climate smart shrimp and rice industries in Vietnam. My name is Justin Ahmed. I'm a Melbourne-based director for Beanstalk Agtech. We are an innovation agency that's dedicated to ensuring that technology is built, deployed, and scaled effectively for producers and agribusinesses across the Indo-Pacific region to focus on what they do best: feed the world with care for both people and the planet. And we're a proud co-author of this strategy and co-manager of this broader bilateral investment program. We're thrilled to have so many of you here today. I recognize many leading lights of Australian and Vietnamese agriculture here, many partners past, present, and future. Thank you for joining us. And we are also so thankful for the presence of representatives from both sides of this critical bilateral investment, most notably Kieran Chestnut, Deputy Consul General at the Australian Consulate in Ho Chi Minh City, and Dr. Tran Kang Tang, Director at IPSARD, the Institute of Policy and Strategy for Agriculture and Rural Development, part of MARD. So with no further ado, let's get rolling. Phoebe, if you can back up one slide, just a bit of housekeeping to start. Please, if you have not already, go to the bottom of your toolbar on Zoom, turn on your translation so you're listening in the appropriate language, English or Vietnamese. Please do note this session will be recorded and may be promoted in snippets throughout social media and other marketing channels. Please do mute your microphone if you're not speaking. I think that will be taken care of through the format of this presentation. And please, we very much encourage you to use the chat for questions and comments. Our team will be monitoring, and while we may not be able to answer everything at once, we will track questions and get back to those where we can. And we please do invite you to introduce yourself to the community that's here in the chat. Okay, so now if you'd be willing, we can dive right into our agenda for today. So first, I'll introduce you to our team, to this effort, and to the broader Australia-Vietnam Enhanced Economic Engagement Program. Then my colleague Lily Tao will speak to some of the critical learnings and opportunities unearthed through this bilateral blueprint and introduce you to some of the pioneers that will be traveling to Ho Chi Minh City and the Mekong Delta with in less than a month from today. I'll circle back to help us take stock of some of the key recommendations that we're encouraging both the Australian government and climate-focused innovators in both countries to leverage bilateral collaboration for meaningful environmental and commercial outcomes. And lastly, but very importantly, we'll discuss what comes next, how you can be more engaged with our impending trade mission and the strategy that underpins it. While there's a lot of listening that will be taking place, this is meant to be a call to action and to present an opportunity for you to engage with our program and both Australian and Vietnamese innovators in these ecosystems. Okay, so firstly, I'd like to introduce you to our organizing team. In addition to myself and Lily, who you'll hear from later, we've been fortunate to be collaborating on this program and several others with our Vietnam-based partners. Firstly, the Mekong Business Institute for Innovation Challenges, represented by Quang Phan and Van Anh Nguyen, as well as Clickable Impact, represented by Director James Simmons. Doubtless, many of you have already also been in contact with my colleague Phoebe Norman, who's spearheaded our marketing and communications effort for this program and many others at Beanstalk. And on behalf of our team in its entirety, we wholeheartedly welcome your engagement and discussion both in and beyond this forum. So as I've mentioned previously, and you'll hear from our keynote speakers later, this blueprint and its associated mission are part of a broader bilateral program that no doubt many of you here are already familiar with, the Australia-Vietnam Enhanced Economic Engagement Strategy. This strategy and investment is a reflection of a shared ambition to boost bilateral trade and investment to support both countries' sustainable, inclusive economic growth. The strategy's latest round of technical assistance has focused on strengthening existing partnerships like ours to deliver meaningful social and commercial outcomes, with a key focus on climate change, energy transition, and advancement towards a digital economy. Hopefully, as we'll present to you today, you can see how our joint initiative sits at the nexus of this Venn diagram. Now, for a short introduction to our project within this. Next slide, please. We have 3 project outcomes in focus. The first is ostensibly the reason that we have collected here today, is to develop and launch a blueprint for bilateral collaboration on climate-smart agriculture between Australia and Vietnam. We are very much looking forward to you being able to review this blueprint that has been publicly published, and we will send the link in that report to you once we are finished with this discussion. Welcome your thoughts and feedback on that. And really, it is, as I mentioned, a strategic reference and a guidepost for bilateral collaboration in these ecosystems. But this is not just about releasing a public document. This is about really focusing on new and expanded bilateral partnerships between Australian and Vietnamese innovators, agribusinesses, and knowledge centers, which is why we've invested in bilateral investment and trade missions, supporting the exchange of knowledge and initiating commercial partnerships in this space. We're looking forward to speaking to that. And ultimately, this is about enabling and implementing climate-smart innovation and practice across Vietnam's agricultural supply chain. So we hope that this action orientation comes through in both the blueprint that you will read through, as well as the discussion that you'll hear today. And so now I will hand it over to Karen Chestnut, the Deputy Consul General at Australian Consulate General in Ho Chi Minh City. Karen, thank you so much for joining us, and please do take it away. Perhaps, Kieran, I'm not sure if you're either not here or running or having some trouble with the technology, but maybe we will go first to our supporting sponsors to Dr. Tran Kang Tong, a director at IPSARD, the Institute of Policy and Strategy for Agriculture and Rural Development, a body that sits within the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development. Phoebe, can you go to the next slide? Dr. Tong?
Yeah. Hello. So can you hear me?
Please do take it away.
Yes, we can
hear
you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Mr. Karian Chatnas, Deputy Consul General of Australian Consul General Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. I'd like to thank Beanstalk to an core organization with MBI within the CSA project, Climate Smart Agriculture, sponsored by DFAT to develop this blueprint report. I myself read the blueprint report, and I have exchanged idea with the author of this blueprint report. I see that in the report blueprint, there's many good insights, and they have recommended quite meaningful recommendation. And some recommendations in the blueprints are quite general. However, I think it is good direction to help policy maker or local government to expand more and help further research so that we can come up with more detailed strategy for. So the blueprint focus on shrimp and rice. So shrimp and rice are heavily impacted by climate change, and these are two very important agriculture sector of Vietnamese agriculture. As you know, in recent year, Vietnamese agriculture has developed very well, especially in the context of COVID-19. However, agriculture in Vietnam are quite stable, both in production and marketing. However, Vietnamese agriculture are heavily impacted by climate change for rice and shrimp. For rice and shrimp, there are huge risks. And these are the two sectors, both major sectors in agriculture of Vietnam, but it have a strong impact on the smallholder economy of Vietnamese farmer. So Beanstalk and MBI research like this in the blueprint provided a panorama so that we can come up with solution beside policy, especially supporting growers or smallholder in Vietnam to cope with climate change risks. So that is what I highly appreciate from the blueprint report. I would like to share with you more, like recently you all know that Vietnam, we are interested in how to adapt. Besides adaptation, it's green mitigations of climate change impact for rice. Recently, the Prime Minister issued the regulation 190 to approve 1 million hectare high quality rice and low carbon in the Mekong Delta. So this is one of a very huge program, and it's linked to climate change mitigations. So 1 million hectare is a huge scale, and it is considered to be the largest program and the first program in the world. We have some program and project, and as I know, Australian government sponsored one program, quite huge program, together with Vietnamese government. And in the current context of more complicated climate change evolving, the 1 million hectare high quality rice and low carbon emission, we are working on planning. Especially here, the government, the Vietnamese government, are looking for technology solution, development solution, improving the process, and also marketing solution. So with such a project that we are doing, the DFAT support us to conduct this project. It is very potential. So in the future context, if we can engage many Vietnamese and Australian businesses, there's a lot of opportunities for Vietnamese and Australian business to be benefited from this project and this big program. So I would like to thank the FAT supporting not only this project, but other research and project. And in the coming time, things that related to risk mitigation, and climate change adaptation. These are all priorities in terms of policy for Vietnamese agriculture. Vietnamese government, the Prime Minister has already approved on the Sustainable Agriculture Vietnam Strategy 2020-2023, which is promoting green growth and sustainable agricultural development. These are very important. The three key words in the strategy by the Vietnam, which is sustainable agriculture. The second key word is improving capacity of smallholder and different stakeholders to develop agriculture towards ecological smart agriculture, climate change adaptation. There are many opportunities for the bilateral collaborations, and I hope that in the future, I can receive more research and more projects like that to support sustainable agriculture in Vietnam in the future. And with the role of a ISAP, who working on rural and agriculture policy and strategy development, I would like to thank Beanstalk, who have worked with MBI in Vietnam to conduct this blueprint report and project. And I hope to receive more updates and reports with such a high value with many constructive information, so that we can have more inputs that ISAP are needing. And I am very ready and willing to cooperate with other research institutes so that we can have a more effective research and report. So thanks again for inviting me, and wish for the successful webinar today and successful project in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Tong, and to IPSARD more broadly for your partnership in the development of this blueprint, in the making possible this bilateral program, and for continuing to push the agenda of sustainable agriculture in Vietnam, and this partnership between Australia and Vietnam to this end. So you can hear more from Dr. Tong in our report, where he is also authored one of the forwards from the Vietnamese perspective as well. So please do dig into that and hear more about what IPSARD is driving forward in the region. Well, with that, I'd like to build on that call to action that's provided by Dr. Tong by refocusing on where the action is meant to be today, and really what we'd like to accomplish through this small session. So we have a twofold mandate this morning. Firstly, introducing some of the key learnings and recommendations from our blueprint, but secondly, really to introduce the bilateral trade missions that we are hosting that build on it. You will get to hear from the diverse set of Australian innovators who've been shortlisted and selected to join us, and who will be showcasing and extending their climate smart solutions in Vietnam. And we encourage you to consider, how can you be a mutually benefiting strategic or commercial partner to these pioneers? If you do have the interest and do consider yourself a complementary partner, please consider engaging with our program that will take place in Ho Chi Minh City in the Mekong Delta from the 18th to 22nd of March. We'll give you a chance to do just that and voice that at the end of this meeting. This slide. So just a bit of brief about the upcoming delegations. As I mentioned, this is a bilateral set of mission. In just less than a month, from the 18th to 22nd of March, we will be traveling to Vietnam, namely Ho Chi Minh City and the Mekong Delta. We're bringing a set of 13 very diverse and highly capable innovators who've been shortlisted through a process that mirrors our strategic priorities expressed through the bilateral blueprint, engaging the stakeholders in Ho Chi Minh City, Can Tho, and Cà Mau. So we still have some open opportunities for meetings, interactions, and where we can bring new partners into these discussions. Please do reach out. And as I said, we'll have a form through which you can express interest for that at the end of this discussion. In May, we'll be hosting an Australia-facing mission. We'll be leading lights from the innovator and agribusiness community in Vietnam to both Queensland with a focus on aquaculture there, and New South Wales with a focus on rice production and innovation there. So please do look forward. We'll be keeping you in the loop as we shortlist and select delegates for that program. Now, with that, I'd like to hand over to my colleague, Lily Tao, who was a lead author on this bilateral blueprint, and will share, really get a great deal into the insights and recommendations that we unearthed. Lily, I'll hand it to you.
Thanks, Justin, and welcome everyone. I'm Lily Tao. I'm a project leader here at Beanstalk, and we're very excited to be launching this blueprint report and sharing some of the findings, as well as spotlighting our Australian delegates who will be coming to Vietnam. So the Beanstalk team, MBI, and our partners are incredibly excited to share these learnings throughout our program today, that have been captured in this blueprint report. And I would like to just say thank you to many of you who are on this call today for the insights that you've shared with us and allowed us to construct in real detail what are the great opportunities for climate smart ag in Vietnam. So the insights in this report represent the synthesis of over 20 interviews, 3 bilateral industry roundtables at the end of last year, and an extensive desk review focused on elaborating what are the specific challenges, barriers, and opportunities for climate smart agriculture in specifically Vietnam's shrimp and rice supply chains. So on the next slide, before I dive specifically into shrimp and rice, there were 3 broader systemic ecosystem challenges that were consistently surfaced through our research and our interviews. And these 3 were things that limited the penetration of climate smart agriculture in Vietnam to date. So these include institutional barriers, input insufficiencies, and knowledge gap. In institutional barriers, one thing that was called out was a lack of coordination and alignment across many different channels and organizations, such as within the industry, between government bodies, across different non-governmental organization and donor funding. And this really limits effective project planning, and there remains a large disconnect between the policymakers and implementers. For policy constraints, many agribusinesses noted regulatory obstacles, for example, restrictive policies on new microbials, which does slow down its reach, distribution, and innovation in Vietnam. And the third one is data infrastructure limitations. This is quite a big topic on how to really utilize that data to help advance the industry. So current systems have been noted to be inadequate, and privacy concerns and farmer reluctance to share information without privacy assurance has also impeded the utilization of data for climate smart ag. For the next one, input insufficiencies. There's low capital investment on all fronts, with many agribusinesses wanting to invest in climate smart agriculture and many innovators wanting to scale their business, but lacking the capital to do so. And there's also a difficulty for farmers to be at the nexus of that because they aren't in a position to bear the costs of technology. It was also noted that there's a low availability of technology. Agribusinesses cited that the low amount of technology that is accessible and available to the Vietnamese market is one of the reasons this is a big barrier. And the last one is knowledge gaps. So with climate smart agriculture, it was noted that there's low awareness and knowledge about the benefits of climate smart agriculture and what that could look like, as well as what the exact climate change impacts are, particularly for them. This is exacerbated by a lack of impact evidence. So this is where research is highly critical to support the results for what climate smart agriculture solutions can achieve. And there's a limited understanding of what are the trade-offs between different practices, different technology, and the end outcome. And the last one, which is the most prominent one, is currently there's a lack of perceived link to profitability for climate smart agriculture, where the absence of incentives or a clear profitability link leads to a low uptake. So this is a call for the industry to really work together and amplify the success stories and also share learnings so that we can overcome all of these barriers. Next, I will move on to talking about climate smart shrimp opportunities in particular. So on the next slide, this is all contained in our report, which you will receive a copy of later today. Our approach has been to look across the supply chain and discern what are the largest issues for the industry. So we've outlined several opportunities for what role can climate ag play in each segment of the supply chain. So the three biggest challenges that we've heard consistently involve reducing disease incidence, improving water quality and waste treatment, and the third one being building fit-for-purpose traceability and certification systems. So with disease incidents, of course, there's biosecurity challenges and over-reliance and lack of understanding of appliance of antibiotics, which has led to heightened disease risk and greatly jeopardized shrimp populations. So there are many solutions which we'll be showcasing later today through our Australian delegates as well. So these solutions involve encouraging the purchase of certified pathogen-free post-larva and fostering collaboration between the academic and private sector to enhance disease detection methods and ensuring there's faster responses to protect these shrimp populations. For the second one, maintaining good water quality is highly challenging due to the high stocking densities and also the use of polluted waterways, which is a large issue. So proper water quality management and waste treatment are very crucial for disease prevention as well as shrimp welfare. So solutions that we'll see include filtration technology, microbial remediation, and IoT-enabled water quality monitoring and management. And the third one is around building traceability and certification systems that have a high uptake from everyone in the industry. So currently they're quite complex and expensive. It really undermines the ability to build these large-scale traceability solutions. So there really is an opportunity to utilize technology and redesign certification solutions by integrating the value chain in a way that can financially benefit the farmers directly and create practice change in farming methods. There are many other roles, many other opportunities that Australian collaborators can help with, including promotion, use of alternatives to antibiotics, better utilization of the byproducts and the waste that comes from shrimp farming, diversification into more efficient and sustainable feed sources, uptake of renewable and optimized energy usage, particularly on farm and through the processing, downstream processing segments of the value chain, development of weather forecast technology advisory, so farmers are better prepared to face changing climate conditions, and there's extension of index-based insurance. So in our report, we've outlined all of these opportunities in great detail. Now, with that, on the next slide, I would like to introduce our shrimp cohort, our delegate who will be visiting Vietnam next month. We have a great range of organizations ranging from leading Commonwealth Research Institute, CSIRO, we've got Food Recycle, Polygain, Genix, and Pacific Bio, but you will hear directly from them on the next video. Yeah, the sound's not working currently, so we'll just have a quick check to see what the issue is, and then we'll be playing the video shortly. Thanks for your patience, everyone.
Hello, my name is Dr. Matthew Cook from CSIRO.
Great.
CSIRO is Australia's national research agency and one of the largest multidisciplinary science and technology organisations on the planet. We've got about 5,200 dedicated staff working across a number of sites globally. Joining me on the tour will be Dr. Tung Huang, Here's a picture of Dr. Tung with some staff from BMC Capital, one of our key clients within Vietnam. We've been working in Vietnam in the shrimp sector since about 2011, predominantly on the breeding programs for white-legged shrimp, as well as Penaeus monitor, black tiger prawn. We've also done a number of technology agreements where we've transferred technology from Australia, but also from Vietnam back to Australia. We have quite close links to the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development. Here's a picture from a 2019 workshop on sustainable shrimp farming in the Lower Mekong that we co-convened together. We're really looking forward to the Beanstalk tour to be able to continue our collaborations, create new ones, and to deliver impact for the Vietnamese shrimp industry.
Hi, I'm representing Food Recycle Limited, and I'm here today on beautiful Bribie Island, where the Queensland Government and the CSIRO have an aquaculture research facility. Food Recycle Limited has patented technology converting commercial food waste into animal feed. Today, we will be looking at the CSIRO aquaculture feed trial, where we use commercial food waste from such sources as pubs, hotels, restaurants, hospitals, supermarkets, and turn it into valuable animal feed, diverting it from landfill. Food Recycle Limited has made a variety of food waste streams for the CSIRO to blend together into a suitable aquaculture feed for prawns and barramundi. With an expected increase in prawn production in Australia, there will also be a higher demand for feed. Aquaculture feed coming from sustainable ingredients such as food waste can fill this demand as an environmentally friendly source. Food Recycle Limited has processed the various food waste streams, and the CSIRO has formulated the prawn diet from those waste streams.
Hi, I'm Dirk Kruger from Janix. I'm really excited to join the Australian Partnership for Climate Smart Agriculture business delegation to Vietnam. We at Janix provide sophisticated health management solutions and customized genetic breeding programs for the global shrimp industry to maximize their harvest. Our comprehensive pathogen platform detects 18 different pathogens in a single PCR with unrivaled sensitivity, which means potential outbreaks can be detected weeks before animals get sick. We believe controlling animal diseases and disease outbreaks has a significant influence on the greenhouse gas emissions. We also provide detailed on-site biosecurity audits and identify any design risks which may occur during the construction phase. We also provide educational training requirements and emergency response plans. Thank you.
G'day, my name's Tom Arnott and I'm excited to be representing Polygain at the upcoming Vietnam Climate Smart Agriculture Program. This program aligns with our vision of supporting animal agriculture to feed the planet sustainably, improve animal welfare and boost farmer profits. Our patented technology extracts polyphenols from sugarcane, creating feed additives that support a range of animal agriculture species. Of particular interest to this delegation is our performance in shrimp, to enhance growth, boost immune parameters, and support against pathogens like Vibrio and the AHP parasite. More broadly, in a sustainability sense, our feed additives' ability to reduce cattle methane emissions and boost productivity is something we're excited to explore.
Hello, everyone. My name is Hal. I'm honored to meet you on today. I'm leading our technical bioactive plant cell across Vietnam. I'm so exciting about driving the adoption of Polygain in Vietnam.
Ever wonder what happens to all the water we use when we do laundry, shower, flush the toilet, or wash the dishes? It becomes wastewater. And let me tell you, it adds up. Households and businesses worldwide produce a whopping 380 trillion litres of it every year, and it's only going to keep increasing. But here's the good news. We can now turn wastewater into an essential resource for a more sustainable future. Working with top scientists, Regen Aqua has developed a simple, carbon-neutral, chemical-free, and affordable solution to clean wastewater. Native seaweed is used as a natural filter to remove harmful elements like nitrogen, carbon, and phosphorus, leaving us with clean water that can be safely released back into the environment. But we don't stop there. Regen Aqua takes this seaweed and turns it into a super helpful biostimulant. We call it plant juice, and farmers right around the world are using this reimagined waste product to boost plant growth and reduce our reliance on harmful chemicals. So, from the shower to our city's waterways and all the way to the farm, Regen Aqua is reimagining the role of wastewater in creating the ultimate circular economy.
Great. So that was an overview of our shrimp delegates. And now I'm excited to talk about our second priority focus, which is in building climate smart rice. Now, there were three major opportunities that were surfaced for the opportunity of climate smart rice, many of which are outlined on this infographic here. Now, the three that were repeatedly stood out were: number one, having a sustained adoption of sustainable rice intensification practices. While there's extensive research that still exists on sustainable rice cultivation, there's many challenges in encouraging adoption. Now, financial incentives to promote best practices and address the financial constraints for farmers, as well as equipment needs, are very critical for widespread implementation. Another opportunity is better management of rice byproduct and valorization. So straw burning, which is a very common practice in rice farming, poses a lot of environmental and health risks, as we know. And there are emerging alternatives to transform this straw into biofuels, fertilizers, biochar, and other valuable products. Other rice byproducts like rice husk also offer diverse applications. We did highlight that there was an opportunity for more third-party intermediaries to identify where the profitable markets are and incentivize rice byproducts to be converted to other products. The third major one is enhanced measuring, reporting, and verification systems, so MRV systems. Certification for sustainable rice is very much hindered by high costs, they're time-consuming, and very much manual at the moment. And the market is quite limited. So the need for scalable systems to streamline the measurement, reporting, and verification, particularly given the 1 million hectares project, is there's a great opportunity for technologies such as remote sensing and greenhouse gas modeling to address these challenges. Now, our Australian collaborators can also contribute to many other fronts, including improved nutrient management, research and development into more effective rice varieties, greater labor efficiency through introduction of equipment that can mechanize certain aspects of the rice farming process, such as using drones, and reduction of post-harvest losses. Now, next, I'd like to introduce everyone to our Australian rice delegates. We have a fantastic range of organizations who are really pioneers in their field and leading the way for research, new technology, greater collaboration across the industry, and many who have global operations. So next you'll be hearing from Rice Growers Australia, who is the collective voice of rice growers in Australia. Rice Breeding Australia, focused on genetic gain for rice breeding, leading to less water and doing it in a way that is sustainably profitable. Agtech Bio, a biotech company with microbial products focused on promoting sustainability and enhancing crop productivity. We have Regrow, who is really the industry lead in providing a platform and technology for measuring and reporting on-farm emissions and implementing these programs that can drive climate positive practices. Data Farming, who has developed web mapping applications for digital agronomy and agri-intelligence operational all around the globe. And Sunrise, who is Australia's leading rice food company and food brand exporter. So next you'll be hearing directly from them.
Hi, I'm Graham Kruger, the Executive Director of the Rice Growers Association of Australia, commonly known as the RGA. It was established in 1930 as a not-for-profit, voluntary member-based organisation to be the collective voice of rice growers in Australia. The RGA members originally pooled their resources to build infrastructure to enable growers to mill and market their rice, which became the foundation for the development of Rice Growers Cooperative in 1950, known today as Sunrise, a multinational food processing company. The present focus of the RGA is to provide the members with strong and effective representation on issues affecting the viability of their farm businesses, communities, and the Australian rice industry. We do this through the development of policy, advocacy, leadership, research and extension, and environmental sustainability initiatives. The RGA is also a member of several peak bodies such as National Farmers Federation, irrigator councils at national and state levels, and Plant Health Australia, all amplifying the voice of our members.
Hello, I'm Dr. Christopher Proud from Rice Breeding Australia. Rice Breeding Australia was established in June of 2022 to transform rice breeding in Australia. RBA is a joint venture with membership from Sunrise, the Rice Growers Association of Australia, and Agribusinesses Australia. Rice Breeding Australia's vision is to deliver rice varieties that enable a rice farming system that uses substantially less water and is sustainably profitable for rice growers. My role as the senior breeder is to lead and coordinate the breeding program to release new and improved varieties for rice growers in the industry. Development of a single variety can take up to 12 years depending on the objectives. Rice Breeding Australia looks to adopt the latest tools and technologies to accelerate varietal development and the rate of improvement for the growers and the industry. In participating in the Australian-Vietnam Partnership for Climate Smart Agriculture, Rice Breeding Australia hopes to get a better understanding of the issues being faced in Vietnam and identify areas of mutual interest across both countries in breeding and research development in general.
Measurement, reporting, and verification, or MRV, refers to the multi-step process to measure the amount of greenhouse gas emissions reduced by a specific mitigation activity, report these findings to an accredited third party, and have that third party verify the report. Historically, MRV in the rice sector has been challenging. Projects struggle with the economic practicality of physical visits, the ability to accurately reflect complex GHG or greenhouse gas interactions, and supporting challenging reporting requirements in an evolving regulatory landscape. Regrow's MRV platform solves these challenges. Through advanced remote sensing technology, process-based soil modeling, a purpose-built interface, and integrated registry reporting, Regrow enables projects to go from 10 to 10,000 or even 100,000 fields without sacrificing scientific rigor. Our platform enables projects to enroll farmers in fields into a program and select eligible interventions. In-season users collect actual practice data used for measurement of GHG impact. Post-season, the Regrow platform leverages remote sensing to verify practice adoption. This information is surfaced in the MRV to highlight where conflicts exist between reported and observed practices. Finally, the MRV provides program-level reporting on both progress and GHG outcomes at both the project and individual field level. All outcomes leverage DNDC, the leading biogeochemical model for simulating rice emissions, due to the precision with which it can simulate nitrous oxide and methane fluxes. Using DNDC, we're able to provide key reporting metrics that support carbon credit issuance. These reporting metrics are surfaced in the MRV and then published to registries. To learn more about our MRV, visit www.regrow.ag.
Hello, I'm Lisa Cullen. I'm the CEO of Agtech Bio, and we're on a mission to improve the sustainability of crop production by reducing the amount of synthetic fertilizers and agricultural chemicals being used. This is our product at night that contains living microbes that are able to pull nitrogen from the air and convert it into a form of ammonia that can be then used by the plant. This leads to increase in crop yields and at the same time improves the sustainability of crop production. Our product at night is used in many countries around the world to help address some of the challenges relating to nitrogen leaching as well as greenhouse gas production. At the same time, we're working with growers to help increase crop productivity and improve profitability for growers. We look forward to seeing you in Vietnam. Thank you.
Rice production in Vietnam is quite complex. It's dominated by subsistence-level farmers with little money. There's huge variability in productivity, with every field having at least 300% yield variation. And of course, we're forecasting without much data. Pests and diseases are becoming a real problem. So we provide satellite imagery on demand, and including high resolution down to 50 centimetres, to give growers, particularly smallholders, a lot more confidence in understanding the variability. We've also developed growth curves to predict harvest timing. This improves the whole grain yield and profitability outcomes for the grower. If you're a processor, you might be interested that we can detect rice crops from satellite imagery, giving you an understanding of the size of the market and also how far along the crops are growing. We're one of the world's most popular digital agronomy platforms with over 37,000 farms from 50 countries. And in fact, we've processed 35 million acres of data to date. Thanks very much, and I look forward to assisting the Vietnamese rice industry in increasing their productivity and sustainability.
We are Australian rice growers, and we'd like to introduce ourselves.
We are part of a farmer-led business built over 4 generations.
We grow and source rice here and from the best regions of the world.
Producing some of the world's best quality rice right here in Australia's pristine riverine.
We are passionate about sustainability with commitment to research and development that stretches decades.
We are rice experts, investing in agriculture advancements and finding new and better varieties. Cutting-edge technology ensures high levels of efficiency and product quality.
Here in Australia and around the globe.
Including our new state-of-the-art mill here in Vietnam.
We are committed to excellence,
helping to improve farming techniques, operational skill, and expertise.
We are the Middle East's favorite rice, trusted by families for over 50 years.
and love to all the nations of the Pacific.
We are creating thousands of jobs, building the local economy, and supporting many important social causes.
To make our communities better.
To make our local industry stronger.
We are making a difference.
We are Australia's #1 rice brand and one of the most iconic and trusted brands in the country.
We are insights-driven brand marketers creating innovative products like our irresistible snacks range.
What a great product from Sunrise.
We are a $1.6 billion company behind 35 major brands, 11 businesses, operating in over 50 different countries around the world.
Thousands of restaurants in Sunrise. It's loved here and all over the world.
And why we are a key rice ingredient supplier to many brands and businesses around the world, making great tasting and gluten-free products.
We are Cop Rice, a leading supplier of animal feed products. We are innovators using every part of the rice system, putting the byproducts to great use.
We are also a market leader in entertaining with premium crackers and pickled vegetables in our Riviana subsidiary.
But above all, we are proud to be right there at the heart of dinner tables across the world where families share food, stories, and love.
We are Sunrise.
We are Sunrise.
Hi.
We are Sunrise. Good to meet you.
Great. We hope everyone's very excited to meet our fantastic Australian delegates. And lastly, I'd like to introduce everyone to our fintech delegates. So we have Hillridge, who is an insurtech platform providing weather index insurance to farmers, and Invest in Farming Cooperative, using fintech and enabling anyone to invest into farming, which provides quick, easy access to capital for our farmers. So the next video.
Hi, my name is Nathan McPhee, and I'm the founder of IT. Every single person needs food, fibre, and therefore farmers every single day. But the gap between producers and consumers is huge. Meanwhile, farming is becoming increasingly challenging, and it's the farmers that endure all of the risk. IF is here to change that, and it starts with your mobile phone. IF is a world-first approach to investing in agriculture where everyone benefits. We enable anyone to invest in agriculture without owning a farm. Buy a young cow, immature oysters in a river, crops before they're sown, or fruit before it's grown. You buy real assets at the start of the growing cycle. The farmer grows it as usual and provides updates along the way. When the product is sold, you share in the profits, and you can literally watch your investments grow. Our farmers love it. We provide a unique form of consumer sourced capital that doesn't compromise farm ownership and reduces risk along the way, smoothing the thriving and surviving roller coaster that is farming. Our vision is to put a farm in every pocket. We're excited about learning more about agriculture in Vietnam on this study tour, especially shrimp and rice farming, and trying to understand how consumer sourced capital could help build a mutually rewarding bond between producers and consumers. Thank you.
I'm delighted that Hillridge is part of the delegation in Vietnam. You're in excellent hands with our Head of Business Development for Asia Pacific, James Simmons. Hillridge has built a platform to help farmers and agribusinesses buy affordable climate insurance. This is insurance for extreme climate events, things like drought, too much rain, typhoons, heat stress. It's a multi-billion-dollar problem that affects hundreds of millions of farmers around the world, including in Vietnam. And it's especially a problem because so little of the damages today are covered by insurance. In Vietnam, we're partnering with Baoming Insurance and with Mitsui Sumitomo Insurance Group. So regardless of whether you're a corporate farm, plantation, forestry owner, you have a carbon farming project or a food and beverage company, you provide inputs, including agri-finance, or whether you have exposure to smallhold farmers yourself, we'd love to have a chat. Thank you, and we look forward to engaging with you.
All right, thank you. Thank you to Lily for bringing us through the insights and learnings from our Blueprint report. And really, thank you so much to the many innovators who shared their who shared the solutions that they are bringing to Vietnam through this mission and through their businesses. We are really looking forward to engaging and invite you. Many of you here are considering how you can partner and mutually benefit from this engagement to continue to reach out to us. I'm going to run through the next couple of slides because I know we don't have much time and I want to make space for our closing speaker. But we are strong believers at Beanstalk that insights only go so far as the action they inspire. That's why we've made a real focus on generating and proactively socializing the recommendations that we have for the Australian government to double down on its existing strengths in fostering bilateral innovation partnerships for climate smart agriculture. So we recognize that the Australian government is already and increasingly invested in strengthening innovation partnerships for climate smart agriculture. we've aimed to highlight where we think the Australian government can really both double down on strengths and address ecosystem gaps to partner in solving many of the shared technical challenges in shrimp and rice value chains that Lily had walked us through and we heard innovators addressing today. So firstly, we see the opportunity for the Australian government as a convener and coordinator of innovation partnerships, whether through supporting the creation of climate-focused industry associations or advancing brokerage and knowledge-sharing programs. We see vast opportunities for the Australian government to support in the policy infrastructure for climate-smart ag, particularly given Australia's position at the cutting edge of topics like carbon management and biodiversity management. We see an opportunity for the Australian government to really help push in the shift from research to action, orienting funding for climate-smart focused agtech pilots and scale-outs where research partnerships have already been initiated. We see an opportunity for the government to double down on what is a clear strength and quality reputation for higher education in Vietnam, building on and advancing programs focused on agtech and entrepreneurship within existing programs. And finally, we see a really great opportunity for Australia to bring technical advice, technology, and policy support based on its own existing public programs and education and contingency management structures to support measures to help the Vietnamese government extend support measures for farmers facing a changing climate. I know there's a lot to digest here, and truly these are higher level recommendations, just scratching the surface, but you can read more in the blueprint, and we're more than excited to talk with you all about how we can take the next steps to put some of these recommendations into action in the months and years to come. Next slide. So at Beanstalk, a core component of our business is in venture growth services, supporting early stage ventures to take their commercial strategy and execution, whether in Australia, Vietnam, or elsewhere, to the next level. We have leveraged the experience of our Graft Challenge program, a land and launch program focused in Vietnam, which you can see at graftchallenge.com, as well as the extensive stakeholder engagement through this report to really distill 4 specific challenges or specific recommendations that we want innovators to bring, be mindful of bringing impactful solutions to the Vietnamese market. Given time, I'm going to breeze through these, but you can read more about these recommendations and find informative examples and rationale to help you leverage these recommendations in your own business building in Vietnam in our blueprint report. So with that, I'm glad to be handing over once again to Kieran Chestnut, the Deputy Consul General at the Australian Consulate in Ho Chi Minh City, for their closing remarks and reflection on the blueprint in this session here today. So Kieran, thanks so much for joining us and hanging with us, and please do take it away.
Yes, hi everyone, and thanks, Justin. Can I just apologise, I was meant to join you earlier, but DFAT is not always the best at technology.
Kieran, we can see you, but we can't.
Oh, sorry. Just a sec.
All good now, sorry.
Sorry, can you hear me now, Justin?
Yes.
Yes? Yep, okay.
Okay.
Sorry, I was just apologising for my earlier IT issues, and clearly they're continuing. So, look, I just wanted to join just to say congratulations to Beanstalk and to your partners, MBI and Clickable Impact, for all your work in creating the Australia-Vietnam Partnership for Climate Smart Agriculture. The Australian government is really proud to support this initiative through the Australia-Vietnam Economic Grants Program. The Australia-Vietnam relationship is one of our most important, it's one of our most dynamic, and it's one of our most diverse in this region. Just last year, we celebrated the 50th anniversary of bilateral relations between Australia and Vietnam, which was a really important milestone. And we're expecting some exciting announcements about the future of our relationship when Prime Minister Chin visits Australia next week. So the relationship is in a very good shape. In economic terms, we've become top 10 trading partners, and we're now working on doubling two-way investment. Building on the success over the past few years, in September, the Prime Minister launched, it's called Invested, Australia's Southeast Asia economic strategy to 2040. As an initial response to the recommendations in that strategy, the Prime Minister announced that Australia would establish new investment deal teams throughout Southeast Asia. These teams, which are delivered by DFAT, Austrade and Export Finance Australia jointly, are designed to help increase Australian investment in Southeast Asia. And we've just, Ho Chi Minh City has just had the first people arrive in country in the past week to get those deal teams up and running. So, as you know, Vietnam is already an important market for Australian agricultural exports. It's currently our 7th largest market, and the two-way trade in agriculture, fisheries and forestry products surpassed the milestone of $6 billion for the first time in 2022. And that trade has more than doubled over the past 2 years. But impressive as those figures are, there's always room for growth, particularly in a market like Vietnam, where there's 100 million consumers and a rapidly growing middle class. But we also face significant challenges from the impacts of climate change. And these are threatening, as you know, the livelihoods of farmers in both our countries. And there's a lot of potential for us to learn from each other. So by exploring the challenges and opportunities in Vietnam's rice and shrimp sectors, Beanstalk's blueprint for climate smart agriculture will help us find new solutions. So this is a priority area of engagement for Australia and Vietnam, and it will be going forward for the years to come. And we're looking forward to seeing how technologies, expertise and people-to-people connections can help us tackle climate challenges in agriculture together. So on that note, once again, just wanted to say congratulations to everyone involved in getting this initiative off the ground, and we wish you all the best in the future. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Kieran, for fighting through some technical challenges and making time to join this this discussion. It is we are thrilled to be contributing to what is, as you mentioned, a very dynamic, important and diverse bilateral relationship between Australia and Vietnam that celebrated 50 years of that partnership just last year. And we are very excited to see the pathway to that, the growth of that partnership through the invested strategy that I know authored by Nicholas Moore. So congratulations on the establishment of investment pathway and platform through that process, and we look forward to supporting that how we can. One way that many of you here on this call can support that and be a part of that growth strategy is by connecting with our Australian delegates, Beanstalk, MBI, Clickable, and our broader partnership through our bilateral missions taking place firstly in Vietnam within the next month from 18th to 22nd of March, and again in Australia from the 6th to the 10th of May in tropical North Queensland, as well as the Riverine. In terms of Vietnam, we still have 3 different opportunities where we are looking to engage more broadly with the ecosystem. On Monday, the 18th of March in Ho Chi Minh City, on Tuesday, the 19th of March in Can Tho, and on Thursday, the 21st of March, where we will be, at least some of us, at the Viet Shrimp Conference in Cà Mau, and otherwise still open to strategic engagements that may come. So if there's an opportunity there or more broadly for you on this call to be engaging with our Australian delegates or with this program more broadly, please, I invite you to take your camera out, pointed at the QR code here on the right, and list a little bit about yourself and how you see why you have some interest in one or more of the partners that we've presented here today, or more broadly this program. so we can consider how we best engage within the next few weeks. Please don't be shy, and all ideas are welcome. We are really looking for a diverse and dynamic means of partnership with the Vietnamese ecosystem. So thank you very much for that consideration. And a last slide just to say thank you. So 3 basic steps for how we can continue to engage. Please do read and share the blueprint. As we've mentioned, we'll be sending an email that will contain a summary of this discussion and a link to where you can download the blueprints, as well as links to all of the videos that were presented here today, so you can review and better understand the innovators that are coming to market. Please, you can, again, scan this QR code, fill out a very brief survey where we can better understand you and how you can mutually benefit from engagement with our cohort. And lastly, please do ask us any questions. Feel free to engage with us. You can reach my colleague Lily at lily@beanstalkagtech.com for English language inquiries, and our colleague Van Anh Nguyen at vanang@mbi.net.vn for all Vietnamese language inquiries. And with that, I bid you adieu. Thank you very much for joining this session, for being flexible in your time, for those that contributed both materials and investment in the remarks to this discussion. And we look forward to meeting many of you in South Vietnam within a month's time. Thank you.
Nice. Thank you, Justin, and everybody. A lot of food for thought.